Welcome to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection since 1991. I'm Linda Karnauskas, and I want to thank you for joining us on this Friday, November 4th. We have an informative show for you today. First, we'll be visiting with the new CEO of Owatonna Chamber of Commerce, and returning to us is Brad Meier. And then later on in the program, we'll have a reprise visit, an interview we did with Ron Schara, who's producer of the TV program Minnesota Bound. So you'll want to stay with us today, learn all about Owatonna and what's going on here. It is Friday, so I read the sponsors, and we recognize the sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show. The Owatonna Today Show thanks the following sponsors of this program. Our premier sponsors: City of Owatonna, Express Employment Professionals, Owatonna Public Utilities. Our primary sponsors are Amy Swain Hearing Centers, Anytime Fitness, Bev Cashman for Minnesota State Representative, District 24A, Fairway Foods, Little Theater of Owatonna, Owatonna Foundation, United Way of Steele County. Our interlude sponsors are Bremer Bank, Brenda Bednar Mortgage Office, Cedar Valley Services, Glenn Mager and Michael Mager of the Brick Mager Funeral Home and Medford Funeral Home. Carlson Branstead and Company CPAs, ERA Gillespie Real Estate, Fairview Animal Medical Center, Horizon Eye Care, Owatonna Area Business and Development Center, Steele County Historical Society, Steele County Transitional Housing, the Third Hand Video Productions, Tri-M Graphics, and TPS Insurance. We hope you will support these fine Owatonna businesses and that support us, the Owatonna Today Show. Without them, this show could not continue, so be sure you say hey and thank you when you're out and about. And we're able to continue because of that. And we're always looking for more sponsors of the show. So if you are a business and you would like more information about becoming a sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show, you can contact our show's producer, Leanne Alt, at 390-5751. Leanne would love to hear from you. We will take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be back to visit with Brad Meier from the Chamber. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Dr. Beth Giltvet.
And I'm Dr. Nick Vincelli of Horizon Eye Care.
We want you to see what you love and love how you see. We're proud sponsors of the Owatonna Today Show.
I needed more than just another dead-end job. I wanted a career, so I expressed myself.
With the kids off to college, I decided it was time for me to go back to work and express myself.
Express got me in touch with some really great companies. Now I'm on my way to a great career.
Express Employment Professionals is in contact with thousands of companies in need of quality employees. Come in now and get the job you deserve.
Express yourself today.
United Way of Steele County has kicked off the 2016 campaign. This year's corporate campaign leader is Go for Sport. Our goal is $700,000. Be part of the change you want to see in the community. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We are welcoming back to Owatonna and to the show Brad Meier. Hi, Brad.
Hi.
And you are our CEO of the Chamber of Owatonna, Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, yes.
And I say welcome back. So why don't you, for those
Thank
that are
you. watching,
tell a little bit about yourself and why you came back to Owatonna.
I appreciate that. Thanks for having me on today. And it truly is great to be back in Owatonna. I served as the Chamber President here for 9 years, from 2004 to 2013, and then most recently had taken a position with the Twin West Chamber of Commerce, which is a regional chamber in the West Metro, so 10 communities. The office was in Plymouth, and was there for about 3.5 years. And we never moved out of Owatonna, so we've been here the whole time, and which made for a fairly easy transition back to the Owatonna Chamber, which is great, and I'm really excited about being back in this role here in this community.
So it'd be safe to say the longer you stayed, the deeper the roots.
That's a great way of putting it. We, to that point, we were, the plan was to move when I took the new position, and we did not. And we have, my wife Heidi and I have 5 children, and they're all just really doing well in the Owatonna School District. They have so many great opportunities. The community's just been very good to our family, and so we never moved out, and I'm glad we didn't, because gave me the opportunity to be back with the chamber here as well. So.
Okay, well, we're glad to have you, and
Thank you.
glad you didn't, I suppose. So what did you bring back with you? Even though physically the family's still here and everything, from your job experience up there, what did you bring back that you want to bring here to Owatonna?
Yeah. Well, they're very different. Obviously, the West Metro is a lot different as a community, and it was regional. So you talk about roots. Everyone's a little bit transient, right? They live in a different community, drive different places. So just the culture is different. But one of the things I was always very impressed with at Twin West is the way they utilized the foundation that they had there to support workforce development in the West Metro. So providing dollars on behalf of the business community for workforce scholarships. So it was students attending Hennepin Tech, North Hennepin, Dunwoody. It was 2-year degrees, technical degrees, things like that the business community really wanted to support the workforce there. And so it was getting people training that they needed to continue to grow. And so we got really much more active in that in the time I was there, in raising dollars and then giving away money for that, and then supporting pre-K. We put a teacher in a pre-K situation in a low-income housing development over the last 4 years, and it netted really just great results for these students as they were entering kindergarten. So those are kind of 2 initiatives that were pretty exciting and really important to the workforce of that area, that as I come back here in my 2 weeks on the job, and all I hear is the need for attraction to this community, right? We need more people. We have a lot of jobs. Owatonna is really in such a great position with the businesses we have, and they're growing. But we need to attract people to our community, which can be a challenge. And so I think I'll be able to hopefully utilize the things I've learned at Twin West to do that and try to implement that here, along with all the community partners here in Owatonna as well.
I'd like to touch on something you mentioned just now. The dollars raised for these VOTEC type jobs, which, as a matter of fact, I've heard on news and other areas, there's a shortage.
Yeah.
People in these specific jobs that need training, because welders, electricians, they all need specific training.
They do.
So this program raised funds for those kind of schools and tech schools, correct?
Yep.
So did the chamber give that to them as a scholarship? So
it was scholarships, essentially. Yep. So we provided 30 scholarships to students to attend those schools, and then we also had some traditional high school scholarships. So student going off to a traditional 4-year college, that kind of thing.
Now, would there be something that the chamber would be privy to, and these students that maybe complete these programs through a scholarship, where you could hopefully retain them for companies in the area?
Well, so that's a great point. The next step then was we were starting to coordinate with some of our larger contributors to the foundation, where they were reaching out to these students and providing them or offering them various internships, workforce shadowing, and then ultimately where we were leading towards was that would lead to jobs for those businesses and or employees for those businesses in the West Metro.
And the purpose of the pre-K schooling and keeping getting them prepared for school, that was hired by the chamber? Yeah, so we supported, we funded it essentially. And what are the results of that? What was the finding there, why that was so important to the chamber? So we, at Twin West, and quite honestly in Owatonna too, we've always found that investment in pre-K really pays off as a long-term for students. So up there, it was putting money into a teacher, and the results for these students, many of them low-income, first-generation immigrant families, was off the charts. When we took the same test as other students around the state attending kindergarten,
from the start to the finish, they were well ahead and ready for kindergarten than they were the year prior. So it really was netting great results.
And do you find that this keeps the families grateful to the community and they want to invest in their community?
Well, if nothing else, hopefully the young child that then is successful down the road is a productive, whether it's an employee or a new business owner in the community, whatever the case may be. We know that's a long-term payoff. Right. We don't expect, that there's going to be support the next year, but so down the road.
That's just more goodwill, and we want to help.
It's the right thing to do. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Now that you're here in Owatonna and you've had these wonderful experiences, where do we rate? How is Owatonna? What good things does Owatonna have going on, and what are your expectations, and what would you like to add? Yeah.
Owatonna is positioned really great for the future, and from a chamber perspective is looked upon very, very highly in the statewide community. The biggest challenge that I'm hearing is really ties into the issue of attraction, and that's every rural, outstate community is dealing with that because the demographics are showing people are moving to metro areas. And so, the things that this community has done for amenities and that type of thing position us well. We need to continue that. Housing continues to be a challenge now as well. Now that we're fully out of the recession and people are moving and doing things, both apartments and homes and that kind of thing are high on the radar as well for needs for this community.
And so would that be your number one goal?
I think so. If you look at an overarching, the attraction of people to our community is really high on the chart for the economic well-being of the community. So that, we represent the business community by definition, but that means a little of everything, quite honestly. And so being able to attract people to Owatonna, not that we can't, but we need to continue to put a more specific effort around that, I think is high, very high on the list, yes.
Is there, will staffing stay the same and those sort of things?
Yeah, so we've got a great team who, I'm really appreciative of the work they did during the transition when Jennifer Libby decided to leave the Owatonna Chamber, and then by the time I came back in, they did a great job of moving things forward and doing all the hard work while there was nobody in that chair, so to speak.
So the chamber office, you're there. How long have you been back now?
This is just the end of 2 weeks now.
Okay. And can people stop in at the chamber office at any time?
Yeah, absolutely. We're right on Hoffman Drive. And the chamber also houses a tourism bureau in Main Street. And so we do become an area where a lot of people will come in and out for information. We also do a gift certificate program that's really popular this time of year that can be spent at member businesses in Owatonna, and so there's a lot of traffic at 320 Hoffman Drive's the address.
And if someone has ideas, they want ideas about how to help with attraction and these different things, can they just call you up, or do you have an email?
Yeah, that'd be great. Email's just bmeier@owatonna.org. Otherwise, they can stop in the office, call us, 451-7970, and we're happy to hear from folks.
Okay. So, and the holidays are coming. Anything special going on with the holiday?
Well, there'll be the Hometown Holiday Parade downtown, as well as some other promotions taking place. And then, like I mentioned too, the gift certificate program as well. So there'll be a lot of things going on in the community right around the next month or so.
Well, we're glad to have you back, and we're happy to see you're up for the challenge and to improve and keep Owatonna one of the best, right?
Thank you. Yes, that's the goal.
Well, thank you, Brad. We wish you well.
Thank you.
We will take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then we'll be right back, so please stay with us.
Hi, Brad here from Owatonna Senior Place. Our goal at Senior Place is to involve, enrich, and empower adults 50 years of age or better to live as independently as possible in our communities. We do this by promoting wellness through recreational, educational, and social opportunities, as well as being a referral source for services available within our area. Activities and programming at our center emphasize creating and maintaining independence in all phases of life. Come see what Senior Place has to offer. Live full, live well, and live long.
Amy Swain Hearing Centers is a proud sponsor of the Owatonna Today Show. I'm Dr. Amy Swain, and I want everyone to hear better.
I'm Dan Branstead of Carlson Branstead and Company, Certified Public Accountants. We support the Owatonna Today Show.
At Triumph Graphics, we think beyond ink. That's why you should make us your source for creative concept, design, print, mail, and web. Check us out today at triumphgraphics.com.
Hello, my name is Katie Marshall. A year ago, my family and I became homeless. We were scared and alone. Today, with the help of Steele County Transitional Housing and generous donors like you, my family and I are safely housed. I am working, going to college, paying my rent on time. My children have a warm bed to sleep in every night. My family and I are so grateful for this second chance. Please help others in need by donating to transitional housing today. Everyone deserves a safe place to live.
Cedar Valley Services, located at the corner of Rose and Grove in Owatonna, provides an array of services for people with disabilities in Steele County. CVS thanks the entire community, especially our business customers, for supporting us in Owatonna for 43 years. Thank you from CVS.
And we're back with the Owatonna Today Show. We are at the Owatonna Senior and Caregiver Expo, and we've got a very special guest here. It's Ron Schara.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. It's a pleasure to have you here, and you also have a very special friend here with you.
Well, I can't hardly go anywhere without my special friend. This is Raven, and she is Raven the Third. A lot of people ask me that. She's 7 years old, and it's kind of an interesting story, and I'll tell it today about how she ended up being a TV star.
Well, I want to talk about you first.
Okay.
Let's talk about you. How did you become a TV star?
Just lucky, I guess. Good looking, you know.
Yeah, of course. Duh. Well, I thought you maybe started in broadcasting, but not at all.
No, actually, I had two big interests when I was a young boy and young man. The outdoors, hunting and fishing, and music. And so I actually played with both of those as I went to college. I went to McPhail College of Music for a while. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
And I ended up at Iowa State University because I grew up in Northeast Iowa, not far from Owatonna, and went to Iowa State University. Did music down there, but then took up fish and wildlife biology. So combine those two.
Now, that's an unusual combination, I think.
It is. I couldn't make up my mind, maybe. But anyway, I ended up. My first job was with South Dakota Game and Fish Department, but then about 2 years later I got a call from the Minneapolis Star-Tribune, which was only the Tribune then, and they were looking for an outdoor writer who understood biology.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
And so I got the job, and then I ended up singing in a nightclub in Minneapolis as well. So.
What kind of music did you sing?
Oh, everything from Broadway stuff to, pop kind of things.
Okay, and how long did you do that?
I did that for a couple of years, but like I said, I performed musically for a long time.
Yeah, do you still get to perform musically?
If I drink enough wine and find a karaoke spot.
That sounds fantastic. So you were writing for the Owatonna Tribune, the Minneapolis Tribune, and then
I wrote for them for almost 30 years, and then I got a chance to do some TV. First with WCCO television, did some things, and did that. That ended, and then one day the news director for Carol Evan called me and said he liked to hunt fish and never saw much on his air about it. So he invited me to do some things, and I did, and one thing led to another, and pretty soon somebody said, let's have a half-hour show, we'll call it Minnesota Bound. Well, then the best deal was the station director said, can you produce it? Talking to me. And so I lied and said, yes, I can. But the other thing he said was, you produce it, we'll buy the show from you, and you'll own it.
Oh, that's really good.
So little did I know.
Yeah.
I started with a 13-week contract.
Oh my goodness.
And we're now in our 20th year.
20 years. In that time, what has been some of the most, can you think of like the most interesting thing? I know that's a long time. But what is one of the interesting things that stick out in your mind as you think back about that time?
Well, I always tell people there could never be a Indiana Bound, and I'm not picking on Indiana, but Minnesota is a very unique place geographically, I should say, both geologically too, but with our northern wilderness, southeast limestone bluff country, which Owatonna is on the edge of that, and then the prairie to the west here. Very unique. And all the lakes, of course, and the rivers. And so we have a culture here of great outdoor interest. And our fishing opener being, I say there's three holidays in Minnesota. Christmas, New Year's, and opening day.
Yes.
So that, I had a built-in audience there. I say that because it's been 20 years of neat things to discover about Minnesota and the people.
That's what I was going to ask as well. We do have a great geography. It's the people, I think, of Minnesota that are extraordinary as well.
Well, they are, and they have a strong outdoor interest. So that was the part of it. But I mean, I've been blessed. I fished for peacock bass in the Amazon River. Been to Africa. The Great Lakes salmon fishing, Alaska. So I've had a lot of those kind of. I've been fortunate to travel. But real quick, one of my fondest stories. A lot of people say, "What's your favorite story?" That's tough. Or what's your favorite fish? And I say my favorite fish is the one I have on the end of the line.
Of course.
But one of my favorite stories involves a Minnesota man who I went fishing with him one day. We used his boat. He ran the motor. He started the motor. He anchored the boat. He took a small minnow out of the minnow bucket. He put a tiny hook into that minnow, and then he cast out and waited till his bobber went down. When his bobber went down, he reeled in. He took the fish off of the hook and held it up to the camera for me and let it go. It was a bluegill. And he did all of this with his feet. He had no hands or arms.
What an inspiration.
What an inspiration. But he could do things with his feet
that I can't do with my hands.
That you can do with your feet.
I can't do it. Yeah.
Anyway, so that was a unique story. He's gainfully employed, a married guy, father of 3, and so that's a memorable story.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about Raven and how she became a part of your story.
Well, Raven, we were show 1. We couldn't figure out what the set should be, so my wife said, "Why don't you have Raven?" I had a Raven in the house. She was 6 months old lab. So why don't you have Raven sit with you? And they said, well, the camera guy said, that doesn't work. Put the lights on her and it looks like a pile of blankets with 2 eyes sticking out. So he said, something bright to put on your dog? So I said, what could I put on my dog that's bright and colorful? Well, I found a farmer's handkerchief. Like this. And of course, now it's fancy and
clips on, clips off.
Clip on.
Yeah.
But Raven became...
And it has her name on it. You are very fancy.
She became the star of the show, and it was all by accident.
What is one of the more extraordinary adventures she has had on the show?
Oh, Raven, a lot of people say, is it your dog? Yes, it's my dog. And do I hunt with her? Yes. Raven has hunted, and this is the 3rd Raven. She has hunted in Kansas, from Kansas to Nebraska to North Dakota to South Dakota to Minnesota to Iowa. She's a pheasant dog for the most part, and she loves her job. She's also well behaved, and she kind of likes this. When I put that red bandana on, she kind of knows it's showtime.
Attention. So I'm curious about when you come to events like this, what are some of the things you like to talk to people about? Is there something you want them to learn about Minnesota or your life, or what do you want people to come away with?
Well, I'm a storyteller, so I might try to answer some of the... I know some people in my audience are going to wonder what's my most memorable story, and I will tell the story about the gentleman with no arms or hands. But I'll also share with them some humor stories. I've been fortunate over the years to fish with celebrities, and so it's kind of fun to find out a little inside scoop about some of the celebrities.
Yes.
So I will tell those stories.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to know about Raven.
Yes.
So I'll tell the story about how she came to be the star of the show.
How's being in a show like this, where you travel all over Minnesota, talking to hundreds and thousands of people, how's it changed your life, do you think? Impacted your life, maybe might be a better question.
Well, being on television, Don Shelby once told me that being on television makes you behave. Because everybody knows who you are.
So you have to be good.
Yeah.
So you're
I can't make a fool of myself.
Just like Raven, you're much more better behaved because you're on TV.
Better behaved because I'm on TV.
Now, does your wife agree with that?
I don't know. I think she hopes so.
Well, I want to really thank you for coming down to Owatonna and sharing your story, Raven's story with us, your experience, because it's something that I think some of us maybe live vicariously through you, because there's some places we can't do. So I want to thank you for that. And then when can people watch you? When can they see the Raven?
Well, Minnesota Bound is on KARE 11 twice a week, Sunday nights at 10:35 and Saturday nights at 6:35. For kids and old folks who can't stay up late. But this is our 20th year. We've held down those 2 time slots, and so you can also see Raven on. We produce a show on Fox Sports North called Due North Outdoors.
Okay.
You can see her in a show called The Flush on the Outdoor Channel. It's a national one. She's the most famous black lab in America.
Oh,
so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again for your time. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Please stay with us.
Hi, I'm Bev Cashman. I'm running for the House of Representatives in District 24A. Good government works when all legislators agree to listen to each other, to work together, and compromise to serve the best interests of their constituents. I will do that. As your legislator, my goal will be to help resolve difficult issues rather than simply blame the other party for failing to act. Please vote for me, Bev Cashman, on November 8th.
Welcome back to the Owatonna Today Show, your community connection. We hope you enjoyed your visit with Ron Schara. Now it's time for our community announcements. The Steele County Toys for Tots program is kicking off its annual toy drive starting the week of November 2nd. Volunteers will be delivering toy collection boxes to over 60 participating businesses in Steele County. New unwrapped toys may be placed in the available boxes through Tuesday, December 13th, 2016. Applications for the Steele County Toys for Tots program must be completed by Wednesday, November 16th. For more information about Steele County Toys for Tots, visit our website, owatonna-minnesota.toysfortots.org, or like Steele County Toys for Tots on Facebook. The Steele County Historical Society announces moving forward, making history, the theme for our 2016 annual meeting, scheduled for Thursday, November 10th. The evening will begin at 6 p.m. with dinner, followed by the business meeting at 7 p.m. Meal tickets are $20 per person and space is limited. To reserve your spot by November 3rd, you can make a reservation online at www.eventbrite.com via our Facebook event with the RSVP card in your Steele County Historical Society newsletter or by stopping in the History Center. Be our guest, and remember, we're serving community meals in God's name. Owatonna at the following locations. On Tuesdays, they're at St. Joseph Catholic Church, and on Wednesdays, they're at Bethel Baptist Church, and on Sunday, they're at Trinity Lutheran Church. And then coming up is the 2016 Auxiliary Holiday Bazaar out at the Owatonna Hospital. That begins Friday, November 4th from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday, November 5th at 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. And that's at the Owatonna Hospital Pink Pantry. And join us for the annual Triam Graphics Open House. It's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. November 12th at 625 East Main Street, Owatonna. You can stop in to pick up a free 2017 Triam calendar. You can view the pictures. They're going to have some snacks, coffee, tea, just a bunch of fun things going on there. So you want to watch for that and mark your calendar. Well, we hope you enjoyed our program today, and we hope you'll join us on Monday when we'll visit with the Steele County Transitional Housing, hear all about the fundraiser, and then we'll also visit with Amy Swain Hearing Centers. Until then, have a wonderful weekend and join us on Monday.